Lindsay, thank you. Coming back to work after maternity leave, it is a time of transition, and now a new company is hoping to offer more support. A recent report by a group called Moms at Work found 33% of women say they felt discriminated against in the workplace due to becoming or being a mother. The report also found that 95% of Canadian moms didn't feel like they had any formal support while they were transitioning back from maternity leave. Mother Cover is hoping to change this, offering coverage for new parents wanting to take a leave from work without the stress of feeling like you're abandoning your career. CEO and founder Beth Wanner joins me this morning from Regina to tell me a little more about it. Beth, great to have you on the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Beth, how did your journey becoming a mom inspire you to start Mother Cover?
Yeah, my journey was quite long to become a mother, and I spent about 15 years in the tech industry as a marketing executive, and I was thankful to have a consistently upward trajectory, but each time that my career was growing, I had this fear in the back of my mind of when was the right time to start a family, and there really was no good time. So my husband and I finally decided that we would go for it, and then unfortunately went through infertility and eventually went through IVF. And while I was going through that, I was hyper conscious of making sure that I was keeping my personal life and my family planning separate from my career, even when I worked for companies that were supportive, or I had no real reason to be fearful. You just know, as a woman, you've seen the stories, you've heard from others that there's going to be decisions kind of made for you, or assumptions made for you, if you're a woman, particularly in leadership, about your commitment going forward, what opportunities will be available to you going forward. So as I was going through something really heavy in my personal life, I made sure to kind of overperform, make sure that nobody knew what I was going through, and really kind of protect myself. And I hated that I felt that way. And then ironically, by the time I actually got pregnant, I found out through, again, doing IVF. I had a blood work on Sunday. On Tuesday, I was laid off. So the tech industry has gone through a lot of layoffs. I was unfortunately impacted by that. Because it was right at the beginning of my pregnancy, I needed to find a job. So I immediately went on the job hunt. Was fortunate to get another executive position in marketing. Told the company I was pregnant, and it was not received well. And at 8 months pregnant, my role was terminated. So I then posted, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, Beth, I just want to jump in and say, yeah. So you created Mother Cover. How does this help women who are in a situation like you or similarly to make sure that this whole transition is a lot more cared for?
Sure. So yeah, I posted about my story, and I heard from hundreds of other women where I thought my story was kind of the extreme. And there's women who had experienced similar things, or just kind of what I had felt throughout my career about being fearful about how starting a family was going to impact them and having any kind of time away. And in Canada, we're fortunate to have 12 to 18 months of protected leave. But most women in leadership feel that even though you have that a protected leave, it protects your job, but it doesn't protect your career. So you feel kind of either a silent or a real pressure to take less time. So Mother Cover was founded to match interim talent with parents going on leave. So it doesn't just have to be women, but it's primarily women that take leave. So the thought was, for myself, if I could step into that mother's shoes, if I could protect her job, if I could execute her strategy as if she was in the role, she could take that time out to focus on her family and then hand her work baby back to her when she's ready. And being on the other side of the table as an executive, I know there are real challenges for a company, and there's continuity that you need to keep happening, and goals to hit, and all those things. So how do you create a solution that solves both sides of it? So thinking of it beyond myself, creating leave partners in all types of areas, from HR to finance, marketing, sales, so that we can help as many parents and companies recognize that there's a way to do this.
It's a much needed role, and Beth, you filled the space for it. Beth Wanner, founder of Mother Cover, thank you for being on the show this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.